interest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Welcome back to another episode of You and Your Doctor, sponsored by All County Healthcare. We are a certified home health care agency. We're servicing Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach County. Our number to reach us is 954-717-7027. I am your host, Louise Gomez, and we would like to welcome to the show today. We have Dr. Pam Wiener, who is a PhD as well as an RG, registered guardian. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm going to call you Pam. Is that okay?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to give the number out. They can find you at 561-684-1991, and then the website is www.alpert with a P, ALPERT, JFS.org.
That's us.
Yes, and you are the director of Care Management, is that right?
Care Management and Guardianship. Two departments.
Excellent.
Yes.
So, Pam, what made you want to get into this industry?
I guess I started working with older adults, working with grandparents who were raising grandchildren.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
that's how I kind of opened that door. And I made a transition to care management. Gosh, I'm cringing as I say about 25 years ago.
That's okay. That's good. That means you got a lot of experience. People like
Indeed.
that.
I was the elder care and crisis manager at the West Palm Beach Housing Authority,
Okay.
and really learned to navigate and manage the needs of very diverse older populations from all over the world, in fact, and caught the bug.
It sounds like you got hands-on experience there, right?
Yes, and then moved on to Alpert almost 9 years ago.
Tell us a little bit about alpertjfs.org. What is
Alpert Jewish Family Service is a 50-year-old
Okay.
organization. We just had an anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We help people going through difficult times in their lives. We assist people across the lifespan. I work personally with adults, but
Okay.
we also have mentoring and behavioral health for kids,
Okay.
psychiatry. We have a food pantry. We have special needs programs for adults of all ages. So we
Nice.
have a center for well-being that provides socialization and support, and we have a residential program as well for adults with disabilities.
So when you say a residential program, meaning, what does that mean? You go to the residents or they?
That's an apartment program.
Oh,
So it's a supportive living.
supportive living.
So it's an
Very
apartment
good.
program. We make sure that everyone stays on their meds, and then there's a huge range of socialization and enrichment programming, but also supportive staff there to make sure they get all their needs met, and they get kind of life coaching as they go along.
Pam, this hits near and dear to my heart. I lost a sister many years ago who had mental illness, and back in the 80s, it wasn't here, it was in New York, but there were, there wasn't as many resources, and it was just people were not as educated, and so it was a little challenging for the family. So these services would have really come in, handy.
Right, and we have a program called mental health first aid. You okay?
I'm okay. I'm sorry. I got vulnerable. I normally don't, but because of the scope of the work that you do, I felt it was necessary to share because there are people out there that are listening and dealing with this.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The mental health first aid program that we do is an outreach program that we do to groups. So it can be something like the Kiwanis or everyone who works at the Breakers or different sheriffs and police departments and others to try to introduce how to talk to someone who's having a mental health issue.
Yes.
So
it's
that
important.
if someone like your sister was met on the street,
Thank you.
they would have compassion and warmth and curiosity and not be afraid and not trigger somebody. So
there wasn't as much education, and you are educating the public.
Right.
And that is so valuable.
Right, and that's part of Alpert's mission.
I love that. I really do. I really love that. Wow. So, you are the director of Care Management. So tell us a little bit more. Why would a person seek care management? Or maybe there are people out there listening and they're like, oh, I have a friend or a cousin or whatever. So give us again the different
Sometimes
reasons.
someone is struggling with their activities of daily living.
Okay.
I have 2 women who have shoulder problems and can't bathe themselves.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they have cognitive impairments. It doesn't mean that they're less than, but they didn't know how to get support in the home to help them with their personal care. Some people can prepare a meal, but they can't shop. They can't lift the heavy bags, or they're not driving anymore. Some people are only eating frozen food and maybe are not getting the nutrition that they need.
Right.
You bring in a care manager to make sure people get their basic needs met and to make sure that the resources that would enrich their lives, stabilize their lives, enhance their lives are available to them. And so it's really coordinating. If someone's struggling more than that, it can really coordinate medical care to the point where hospitalizations are avoided.
I see.
We also help usher people through major transitions if there's a loss in the family, if they want to downsize and maybe it's time to move to assisted or to skilled nursing home. So depending on, it's just so hard to navigate.
Sure, it really is.
And so to have a care manager working with you, you have a partner. And
I like
so many
that.
people are isolated or their family is far away
True.
or they're busy.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the mother-daughter issues or whatever family dynamics
There's
may be going on.
so many different dynamics.
Right.
Yeah, but I like how when you go in there, you'll assess, right? And you'll see.
Right. So we go in and we look at physical health, psychological, mental health, cognitive functioning, social functioning. You know, there's a lot of research now about social isolation and how detrimental
It is.
that is to people's health.
It really is.
We look at how they're functioning in their environment, if there's a more suitable environment, and we try to bring them up as much as we can.
You know, just to touch on that point about social connection, I was watching a program on the blue zones in the different countries around the world, and one of the big components is the connection and the interaction that people have and their purpose daily, whatever it is. Maybe they all go meet and they cook together, or in Italy or whatever, but it's that.
We should go to Italy
I
and
know.
cook together. I think that sounds pretty good.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like they have that, and they notice that throughout all the different blue zones, that is one of the top components, is that community and connection.
FAU just did some research that shows that there are 2 types of social connections that are protective or can help improve both cognitive functioning and mental health, behavioral health.
Yeah.
So there's the intimacy of your close-knit family
Sure.
relationships and that kind of strong connection, but we also need to be in larger groups.
Community.
Meeting new people, experiencing new things, not just that intensive
Sure.
connection. So both of those things are really important to balance out.
Well, with the resources that you provide, do you refer maybe people to to a social network, or would tell us where you would
Yes,
what
we
you
do. Well, we can start with their congregational affiliation,
Sure.
perhaps. But there are also senior centers, adult day care centers, and
nice.
then we use the library a lot. We try to get people involved in book groups, or to go to movie nights, things like that, game nights. So we use the libraries as a resource a lot to try to get people to connect and go somewhere free where they don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, and then they meet people, and then
And they don't have to be peers. It can be intergenerational, which is very nice too.
True.
We encourage volunteer work.
Nice. I love that. So how many care managers do you have on staff? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about their experience and what they bring to the table.
We're a team of 8 with both the guardianship department and the care management department, and both departments run on a care management model.
Okay.
In guardianship, the care managers are directed by the court about decisions that they can make. In care management, for the most part, they're master's level or extremely seasoned and certified care managers. They work on goals with their clients together and try to create a plan of action. And at Alpert, we normally establish rapport and relationships and work with people for quite a long period of time, and we become a relied upon partner in a very intimate way. But we also provide opportunities to families if they want us to do an assessment and create a plan of care and hand that off to the family. And they don't have to have a long-term relationship with us, and the family, if they have the wherewithal, can implement that plan of care themselves. So that way they get a professional assessment of the home environment and of the person.
Yes.
And then it's up to them how they want to proceed.
And there's so much to find out about them when you go to their home, right?
Absolutely.
That's maybe it's not even maybe it's a little dangerous, the setup, or I don't know, whatever.
We see a lot of hoarding.
Or hoarding, yeah.
A lot of hoarding.
What is that about? Is that
There are a number of different theories about that. Some say that that's kind of an obsessive compulsive disorder thing.
Yeah.
Others say it's kind of filling a hole, kind of a symptom of a depression and something that's missing and trying to fill. So it's hard to say. I think there's a lot of controversy there.
Yeah, there's a lot, I'm sure. But at least you go in the home and you're able to assess, and maybe you can work with them to help them navigate through that.
Yeah, that's not overnight, but
No,
yes.
I know. It's not like one of those TV shows, right, where they go in and then the next episode it's gone. No, you work with them. I understand, for sure. So what does guardianship entail if somebody says, okay,
Someone is appropriate for guardianship if they have problems with their cognition. It can be a traumatic brain injury, it can be a developmental or intellectual disability, it can be an untreated serious chronic mental illness, it can be a dementia of some variety, but they're unable to manage their finances, make appropriate decisions in their lives, and it's a legal process. There are lawyers involved, there's a judge involved, there are examiners involved to determine if someone is indeed incapacitated.
right.
And then those people are assigned a guardian, and certain rights are delegated to the guardian. It's different for every person. So a guardian may be asked to delegated the responsibility, not just asked, to apply for public benefits, to make medical decisions and consent, to choose where the person will live, things like that.
Wow.
Or just one of those things will be delegated, and the person can manage the other decisions himself or herself. But the individual under guardianship does lose a little bit of autonomy. We collaborate as much as we can, but sometimes they're really unable to make sense out of what their options are and what their opportunities are.
So they lose autonomy, but they gain support.
Support and safety,
That's-
often treatment.
They gain so much from this.
And the goal is to restore their rights. So especially when it's a mental illness situation, if we can get them on track and they continue to take their medication and they're safe and
Right.
you know, they're starting to paint and they
Nice.
get a cashier job and
Nice.
they get their own apartment. No, they can be fledged, and
Oh,
it's a
good.
great thing.
Good. We got a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to You and Your Doctor. We are with Dr. Pam Wiener. She is a PhD and a registered guardian. She is at the Alpert, let me give you the website, www.alpertjfs.org, and she could be reached at 561-684-1991.
And we have that tremendous call center that I told you
please,
about.
yes, let's talk about that.
So it's like an information and referral line. So regardless of whether you feel you or someone you love needs care management or guardianship, you can call in concerned about any issues, looking for resources, looking for help. And a social worker will spend time talking to you about what's going on in your life and try to connect and get you assistance for that. It's a very in-depth situation. It's not like, I love 211, they're great, I refer to them all the time. This is a lengthier process, so it's not getting some phone numbers and saying call. It's much more in-depth.
It sounds like they really try to investigate the person's situation so they know how to navigate, where to send them, what resources to provide them.
Right, and they'll follow up and they'll
Nice.
invite calls back too, so it can be an ongoing dialogue.
I like that. And so what counties do you serve here in Florida?
Well, the guardianship, we serve primarily Palm Beach County, but we also serve Hendry and Martin and Broward County, and we're one of, I think there are only 4 Spanish-speaking guardians in Palm Beach County, so I'm one of them.
Oh, you speak Spanish?
Yes. And then the care management is from Boynton Beach North, only in Palm Beach County.
Oh, wow. That's great. I love when I interview people that are providing so much value to the community, because sometimes I feel like it's a daunting task when you go down that rabbit hole. It's like, where do I begin? What do I do, right? And it just can become overwhelming.
Right. Sometimes what happens when someone calls the call center, they think their problem is X.
Right.
And as they go through the process, they realize we may be able to connect them with a support group that would help them through, plus help for their child, plus help for their mother. You know, because there's so much that goes on in families now, and times are so challenging.
Yes.
Now, people are really feeling stress.
Yes, it definitely is challenging, and people are looking for resources. So we're so happy you provide that in the community. I don't know, maybe tell us some success stories or do you have any?
Oh, I'll tell you about a family.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
How did we get the referral? I don't always remember how
That's
they
okay.
come in. This young woman, because she's younger than me.
Okay.
She's 55 maybe. And she has an intellectual disability, and she was living in a residential program, I think in Boca.
Okay.
The family who was paying for it came upon hard times, and they brought her into their condo. So the parents and this woman are living together. And they called us in to connect her with something, because she went from being in a socially vibrant environment with peers to mom and dad in their 80s.
Oh, yeah.
In this condo and not knowing anybody. And we connected her with programs through the county parks department, an art class, which we paid for from our financial assistance funds. But lo and behold, we're in the house, we're meeting her, we're getting to know her, we're loving her, and mom discloses, you know, I've been a caregiver for my husband, and he keeps falling down. And he has a heart problem, and I can't afford the groceries anymore, and how can I take care of him? I can't cook, and she can't help me. And all of a sudden, all three of them are our clients.
Wow.
Now, we have a chore service in there. We have personal care in there. We have Sabbath meals that go in every Friday for them, a Jewish family. Which they appreciate. We have some pantry items coming in, and they now have a resource person, a care manager, to call to bounce things off of and help solve problems about. The air conditioner broke. They just didn't, they were too harried to even think about it.
That's what happens.
And so we went from 1 to 3, and they're stable.
That's amazing.
You know, and he's clean and he's safe. He has an emergency button, God forbid he falls down again. And
that's amazing. So yeah, you went in trying to help one person, and then you ended up helping the whole family, and so now it's a beautiful thing, because I feel like it helps them get along better too. You know what I'm saying? Because family dynamics, right? When you have stress and you're all living together, and caregiver burnout is real.
For sure. And we get a lot of calls actually from older adults who have special needs children in their 50s and 60s.
Wow.
We do in care management. Alpert also has a life planning department where we help those older parents make sure that their adult children will be safe as they transition to the next level, as we say.
Yes.
And it's really not just, there's a system there. It's not just the one person.
Yes.
You have to really work with everybody and try to have things mesh together.
Yes, and manage the dynamics of everything.
Yeah, these older parents can be very, very worried about,
of course,
their special needs children. And some of them haven't done anything about it since those kids left school at 23 years old. And now they're in their 40s and 50s and 60s. And the parents are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they're like, oh, wow, we're not going to be here forever.
Right. Would you refer them to maybe a lawyer who could set up a special needs trust for them, or?
Funny you should mention that. We also have a special needs pool trust at Alpert Jewish Family Service.
You see, because I say this from experience, because my sister and my parents had to leave a special needs trust. So you have that
so we
service.
can assist.
That's important.
We always suggest that someone speak to an attorney before they come to us to set that up.
Of course.
But yes, they can do that through us.
Oh my God, so good to know. We literally have 1 minute left, Pam. This interview has gone by so fast.
Yes, it has. What a pleasure.
I know, it really has. So we have less than a minute. Is there anything you want to share with the audience, or maybe call to action, or anything maybe you'd like to say?
I would just say remember that number, 561-684-1991. It is one portal through which you can check out any of our services at Alpert, and the folks there are delightful and helpful. And
Well, we're lucky to have you.
thank you.
We appreciate you and all that you do and everything that Alpert does for the community. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It was
So
a
nice
pleasure.
meeting you.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show,